I like to see how my model's performing, and what I've done here is kind of gone overboard on the debugging. So this is a little mode that I created. So if I turn this on, it just clears the screen and basically generates some really helpful information about what the model is doing while it's training. So the first thing we can see, I'll just point out here, we're on iteration 1. I just ran this from main.py, with the training flag, and this is for the semi-supervised variational autoencoder model. And what it's doing is, in the upper left, we see there's the input to the model. This is the MNIST dataset of handwritten digits, and in that X dataset, there's a whole batch, but the first item in this batch is this digit, which is a 1. It's labeled, so some of this data is labeled. And what this is showing on the right side is, in this pure initialized state, it hasn't learned anything yet. What kind of image is it going to generate? Basically, this X comes in through, if we look down here, we've got an encoder, and that encodes things into the latent space where we have Z, and it's initialized just as, well, it stays as a normal Gaussian distribution, right? And then, so it's generating, something that's just noise, basically. It's nothing. What happens, though, is you'll see as we start to step through the iterations that this changes, and we can see it actually starting to learn from the latent features, right, that are drawn out of this, the encoding of these digits, and it's able to start actually generating digits from that space. At the same time, what we're trying to do is improve the classifier. So you can see there's a CLS, which is the classifier down here. It has some initialized weights and bias, and we should see the accuracy go up. What this is showing here, I think there's like 100 items in each kind of batch, but what I'm only doing here is showing the very first digit in that list, and I'm just visually showing for that item, what was it? It was a 1. What was the classification or prediction? It was y hat, right? And it said 4. It's kind of a coin toss at this point, and it's clearly wrong. And then I track a total here. So there's some other terms here, by the way. The main error term is the negative evidence lower bound, or NELBO. We have these divergence terms for the Z and the Y, and the reconstruction error, and then there's accuracy. Let's go take a look. If we hit enter, I can just step to the next iteration, and not a big change here. Let's slowly start stepping through this, and you'll see the NELBO score is going down. Okay, we're starting to get some correct guesses here, right? So the classifier is starting to learn something. You can see the percentage change here in the weights. Classifier is starting to pick up on something. We can see also the accuracy here is for this batch, but the total here is just, I'm just sampling the first one in each batch. It's not really a sample. I'm just picking the first one in each batch and just calculating, was it correct like you see over here, or was it wrong? So I'm just keeping that total. It's more of a visual total, I guess, based on what we're seeing. So it'll be slightly different than the accuracy. But, we can see we're about 50-50 at this point from these samples. And also on the generative side, we're starting to see some shapes start to appear here. It's less white noise, but we still don't have anything significant. I'm just going to hold this down and we'll step through this a little bit. We're now around iteration 50. Things are going down. You can see on the right, if you look at the generated image, still nothing significant there. Let's keep going through. It's kind of like fast forwarding a tape. All right, now we're starting to see some things look, oh, it's starting to look a little bit like some digits. We see the reconstruction errors going down. You can see the percentage change of these parameters of the model. There's been some movement there. Accuracy is at 71. And what I can do here too is I can go and step through, instead of one at a time, let's step through 10 at a time. And it's less flashy at this point, right? But these are starting, the generative side, right? It's starting to really pick up things, right? We're starting to see this look like digits. Now, what I'll do at this point is I'm just going to hit S to stop pausing, and we will just blast through this. Every 10 iterations, it's updating. And this is on CPU with a lot of overhead for this debugging UI, so it's going to go kind of slow. But it starts to illustrate the point. Now we can see the digits, the generated digits on the right are starting to get more defined. Accuracy seems to be going up a little bit. Errors going down. Reconstruction terms going down. The Q mean and Q variance parameters don't really change much. The Z values there don't change much either, but there's a little bit of a change in the variance. I think if we allow those to be trainable parameters, you might see some more movement there. I don't know. And yeah, so now the Nelbo is down to like 106, 110. Classifier accuracy seems to be on the high 70s, low to mid 80s. And on the generative side, right, the reconstruction term is down below 100 now, and you can visually see. Remember where we started? It was like white noise on the right. So I think it's like really cool, like being able to visually see the learning and how we can generate digits from these latent features, this latent space. So this will probably take a while, but hopefully you found this interesting. This really helped me debug my model and actually understand like how the whole thing works.